So, as we discussed quite a few times, I'm planning to do a little Sanskrit course, which is not of the usual format where you study all kinds of rules of grammar, you have to memorize so many things. This course is basically, you can say, a conversational course. I am speaking something and I'm seeing you as my audience, and you can also reciprocate with me by sometimes answering questions or asking questions as you see fit. So I've written 24 points that I wanted to emphasize or elucidate in terms of what I'm planning to teach and what is my mood. So the course is called Sameti. It's a Sanskrit word, of course. It has different meanings, but one of them is sam, of course, means to agree with, to come together with. So it's to agree with, to enter upon, to visit, to come together, and it even has a romantic type of meaning. So Sameti, and the subtitle is Enter Within the Course of the Sacred Landscape of Sanskrit via the Shangri-La sanguine mode of no mind. So many ideas are there. One may meditate on it. So this meditation can consist of the 24 following notes. So if you want to follow me, it might be of some interest to you. There's about 1,000 words here, and between 60 and 80 are Sanskrit terms that are mostly defined, and it is actually the methodology which I use as a teaching method. So I'm speaking, and it's a conversational tone. I'm using metaphor, especially in this particular rubric here. So it has a lot of Sanskrit. So you can pick out the Sanskrit yourself. Also, in the future, when I write these notes, I will make a list of the Sanskrit words under a different rubric. So it says, number one, approaching the sacred portals of Sanskrit presupposes that we have a predilection for the divine. The divine deity everywhere and always extant is the goddess of bliss, Anandamrita, the nectar of beatific supra delight. 2. That predilection for an encounter with that deity, sampratigraha, i.e., a turn towards, suggests a previous impregnation with bija, the seed of eventual moksha, enlightenment. 3. Hence, in a time like this, such as COVID-19, finding yourself in a simple place, such as a retreat, a lockdown, or a wooded resort of sorts, and you wishing to elevate yourself to higher consciousness, may consider a meditation on even a few syllables of Sanskrit shlokas, mantras, sutras, etc. 4. Indeed, such an endeavor will go a long way towards the noble goal of converting COVID-19 into Govinda 108, the latter indicating one who gives pleasure to the senses well beyond the 100% mark of the mathematically mundane, pedantic Pandit. 5. Koham Soham is an example of the brevity of Sanskrit lore Veda. Who am I? I am he or that. Now meditate on that. Just think. Living in isolation, a lonely forest of sorts, presupposes simplicity. Hence our humble course in what we have named either Forest Sanskrit or Bucolic Sanskrit is based on ease of use, attention, and minimum abuse of rules and regulations. 7. Ease in Sanskrit, or being at ease, is madhyati. It suggests both to be pleased and happy and to be at ease. Deity means being attentive to. Both terms indicate vishranti or repose, one of my favorite words, vishranti, to rest in that. 8. Minimal rules suggest freedom. Hence we advocate swatantra, to be yourself in the world of is, asti, come bliss. 9. Just project. Collectively we go on a trek, yatra. To where? But to the famous forest of Naimisharanya, where Shukadev, the parrot poet of the Bhagavad Purana, spoke the nectar of bliss to thousands of hearers, first and foremost to Parikshit Maharaj, the interlocutor par excellence of this divine narrative saga. 10. What does Parikshit mean? But one who looks all around, para, scanning the perimeters of the furthest horizon. 11. Yes, we will attend and dress simply, carry only the necessary items for survival. We preferably subsist mostly on naturally gathered food, i.e. foraged fare from the locality where we are at, the loka, i.e. the free or open space in the aranya, the divinized woods of poets, the kavis. 12. Now, atato, but to gather the knowledge of the rishis at hand, atato brahma jignasa, as it is famously said. Thus, simply sit, siddhate, and succumb to shravana, hearing with acute attention. 13. To continue our analogy, we say, when foraging, prasarana, to hunt about or for, we discern between the leaf, patra, of a singadanta, dandelion, and a sarpa damstrita, a burning nettle. Indeed, between the bloom of nalini lily and the datura, the white thorn apple, also known as the jimson weed, a favorite offering for Bhairava. Thus we learn to discriminate between a noun and a verb, a command and a mantra, a soft dental D and a harsh plosive pa varga. Again, 14, we may learn the meaning of the word gasa, grass, or that which is to be eaten, without worrying per se about the multifarious implication as to its dhatu, its declension and recensions at all. 15. Yet at the same time, since grass is our food, anna, we will carefully examine a green bending leaf with its shape, rupa, its color, ranga, its roots, dhatu, its taste, swada, and its sway in the wind, pavana, especially when the soft blowing breezes, dhira, samira, warrant an embrace, alingana. 16. So far, as is indicated above, this is all metaphorical kalpana, but surely it translates into an invitation to learn a new language without the usual formatting of conventional pedagogic techniques. 17. Our excursion into Sanskrit does not start with the exposition of its grammar, vyakaran, and the endless list of case endings plus to be memorized by a student, causing nothing but chagrin for a new initiate. You may remember that. 18. Sanskrit and its sounds, nada, both ancient and postmodern, is abhinav, ever fresh all round. Yet it may be hidden, gupta. Hence, we prefer the intuitive way of conversational learning. 19. Just as a mother teaches a child new words by her sweet everyday katha, talks, we also teach Sanskrit by talking. And where may the walk, the talk, upaya, be better celebrated than in the Palladian forest, where the Aranyakas were spoken by the rishis of old. 20. Of course, we need not go far abroad, so sad, but we are invited to enter into the mood of the Upanishads, sitting close to the teacher, or teachers, indeed, who reveal the knowledge of life in their Chaya Bhasha of Paravak, the highest level of sound, the Turiya, the fourth. That is the point. 21. Hence, in our course, we attempt to enter the forest of wisdom with Sanskrit lore, where the Vipraha, so said, invoke divine goddess of consciousness, Pratibha, by piping the pentonic scales of Rama Setu, thus connecting the various woods and groves of true lingua into the wine of Raga Swar, the divine octaves of joy. 22. As such, we will proceed following the demands of the environment, winding its way between trees, around rocks, crossing shallow marshes barefoot, and perhaps at the end find a resting perch in a treehouse of sorts, bound by the buzz of clusters of bees, low, lowing growls, sweet-singing birds, raised necks of garters alert, and indeed the sound of thunder sudden flashing all round, a lookout from which to view the panorama of sound again, Shabda Brahman, unbound and ever unheard. 23. If this sounds like something you may aspire for, then kindly subscribe to this free-flowing, cross-cultural, audiovisual, poetic online platform meant to embrace the mood of the times. Om Tat Sat, but to aspire for that. So this is basically what I'm planning to do. It's very hard to digest in one sitting. Maybe I took 13 minutes or so to read it, and like I said, it's 60 minimum 60 Sanskrit words, and the last paragraph I did not add any Sanskrit because I ran out of time, but it could be 80 Sanskrit words in this very, very brief introduction to this course. So many of our teachings will be like this, with point form, and many of them will simply be spoken under the tree spontaneously, without notes, and just also we have a great focus on plants, plant names, the metaphor, the metonymy of a plant, like a tree, etc. And we will put it in the environment of language, of the linguistics of the moment. And we'll look all around in a casual way. There's no ABC. Of course, there's no relation between A, B, and C to begin with. So we'll follow not only the Sanskrit alphabet, which is the matra, the regular Sanskrit alphabet, but we follow the Malini, which is like a garland, all woven together with letters that seem to be chosen intuitively. So it will be an intuitive course, and those of you who are interested should let me know. So I will be encouraged to pursue this and put in a very excellent time and perform the play, Deva, the Deva's play. It will be divine. So I'm saying Om Tat Sat. May we agree or maybe celebrate that. That is better. Radhe Radhe.